I don't know what the numbers are going to be this quarter. What I do think is we are going to kill this virus. We are going to reopen this economy. And in the third quarter of this year, you're going to see this economy bounce back with very large GDP numbers and low unemployment back to where we were beforehand.
Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin predicting a major comeback for the U.S. economy after the coronavirus pandemic is defeated and saying it'll happen in the third quarter. That is roughly July till September. Katie, I'll start with you. You know, sometime in the third quarter, that seems really ambitious to me. But it all depends on how Washington and the administration responds, what they let businesses do. You know, from a quantitative perspective, the recovery from the last recession during the Obama-Biden administration was literally the worst on record. That is according to Federal Reserve data. GDP recovered at the slowest rate that we've seen since they've been keeping those records. And we also saw the divide between rich and poor dramatically widen during that recovery. I wonder what are some of the things that this administration could do to make the recovery better and have that sort of, you expect a V-shaped recovery after a big downturn like this because you can bounce back. What could they do, you think?
Well, I certainly believe that the Trump administration has built up their credibility when it comes to the economy. So when they say that they believe that it will be able to come roaring back by July through September, as you just mentioned, that people say, okay, they got us into a good economy that we were roaring and working in January. This is not something that is in their control. And we do believe, based on their track record, they will implement policies that allow us to get back to work. Now, the reality of that could look very different. There are a number of restaurants that have already closed their businesses for good, but the beauty of America is that you get to start over, and there is hope in starting over, and there is going to be a challenge of people getting back to work, but people also consuming. As you know, Melissa, this is a consumer economy that was driving all of the numbers that we have been seeing over the past 3 years. Are people going to want to spend their money after being in the situation where you can't work, you can't save money, and you're digging into your savings to pay your bills because your job is gone? So that is going to be the challenge. But clearly people want to get back to work. The frustration right now is the balance that the administration has to make between the public health crisis and the economic impact of the decisions that they're making to keep the economy closed. So certainly people are ready to get back to work.
Absolutely.
But whether those jobs will be available is another question.
Well, Steve, I mean, a lot of that depends on the government response. So in the last time, the Obama administration went heavy on the shovel-ready jobs, which were shoveling something, but it wasn't jobs because they didn't appear. And they focused on spending that like a public works type program. This administration has showed that they want to do things like lifting up regulation, and there is unemployment support, but there's also the idea of helping small businesses find that lifeline so they can keep their doors open. It's a different approach. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a much better approach. Obviously, I hope that Mnuchin is right. I worry that it really reflects his background as someone from finance and big business, because the reality for small business is very different. I've run small businesses all my career, including a restaurant back in England. And the truth is, you can't just assume with a small business, you kind of press pause for a couple of months and then press play again and everything's going to be fine. I think that the intent is great to help small businesses. I think the mechanism is a bit too slow and too bureaucratic, using this loan system through the Small Business Administration and local banks. A much better way to do it, and I've talked to lots of small businesses about this, is actually to try and stand behind the insurance companies so they can get payouts on their business interruption insurance. At the moment, they can't get that because the pandemic isn't covered. I think if we move towards that, it'd be much more flexible, much quicker way of getting the support to the small businesses who really need it.
No, that's a terrific idea. And it also is going to all end up coming back to the banks, because as we see more and more people not pay their rent from the business perspective, not pay, various contracts, it's going to be up to the banks to see if they come in and they foreclose and they seize things, or if they don't do that and we reopen for business. It's, going to be something to watch.